Hey guys, Spencer here with Builder Funnel, and we are here on the last day, pretty much the last day of the Builder Show here in Vegas 2019. I'm here with Kimberly Mackey, and Kimberly was on Builder Funnel Radio a while back, but I figured it'd be fun since we're here in person to do like a Builder Funnel Radio short. So we'll do kind of a quick little episode here. But Kimberly, you've been here all week. Do you have any good takeaways from stuff that you've seen, sessions you've been in? What should people, take away from the conference?
There is nothing like coming to the International Builder Show. So if you haven't done it, I strongly encourage people to come here. I mean, the education sessions alone are worth it, but the networking, the people you meet, the products that you find out about, I mean, you're not going to get that anywhere else. It's all right here in 1 week, as you can tell by my voice. I've taken full advantage of it. It's just incredible. I've met some amazing people. I've made some great connections. I've gotten a ton of new clients. So, hey, successful week there.
Yeah.
But it really is, it comes down to the people. And this is really a people business. We forget that sometimes. We get caught up in what that product is, but it is this relationship that we have with each other and how we support each other, and that ultimately benefits our buyers. It benefits the people who live in our homes. So it's pretty cool when you think about it.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I've been to a number of conferences inside the construction industry and outside, and it seems like it always comes down to the people and the networking. And it's funny, you go for the education, but then you go back and you go, man, I got a lot of value out of that, but I got a lot more value out of the people I met and the conversations I had. And well, you were on stage or presenting a number of times this week. What have you been talking about, and do you have kind of some key takeaways for people from those sessions?
Sure, yeah. Oh, I'm really excited. I did my first master session this year. We opened the show at 8:30 on Tuesday morning. We were up against Dana Carvey. So, hey, that worked.
Yeah.
But even with that, we were sold out. People bought 170 tickets, I think, to our session, and we ended up with 215 with the people who just showed up at the door. They had a bouncer. I've never spoken where I had a bouncer before. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's a real deal.
Yeah, it is. So I was privileged to speak with Will Duderstadt from MI Homes and Chris Hartley with Trendmaker Homes out of Dallas, Texas. So great presenters. It was a little bit of an adventure to get there, and especially to deal with the logistics. But if you haven't heard Will and his takeaways on just what is this big, wide internet thing and how can we capitalize on it and how do we get more leads into that customer experience funnel, because that's where it starts. We have to brand ourselves and make sure that the customers know who we are, how we stand apart, and who they're dealing with in order to be able to attract them and get through all the noise. And he gave some great tips on that. Talked about the value of social and how with social, it's the great equalizer, because really, if you'll do it right and you'll do it well, you can level the playing field against the big boys. So, it was a really strong takeaway, I thought, for that. And I thought he did a great job illustrating just how cluttered the web is and how you've got to drill through that. Chris, of course, gave some real world cool stuff with his sales team and the success of his internet sales counselors, setting those appointments and some of the cool things and how they're using technology to enhance that customer experience so that the customer knows who they're dealing with. So he is his internet salesperson doing a video with the on-site counselor. So it's an introduction to the customer. They think when they show up, they don't know that Ingrid's not going to be there. So they show up to meet with Tracy, and who's this Tracy person? They have a relationship with Ingrid, because again, it's about the relationship. So I love that they were doing the videos and they were using those warm introductions, again, to make the customer experience better for our customers. We think that, hey, everybody does this. It's easy, right? And it isn't, the customer doesn't know what's coming next. We have to set that expectation.
Yeah, and I think just going back to one of your earlier points about the big wide world of the internet and everything, it is cool because Google doesn't know if you're a one-person company or a 500-person company. They can't tell that. So if you are a small guy, like social media, your website content, if you do a good job with that, you can really surpass some of those guys that are kind of getting lost. And so I like that point. And I guess going back to the customer experience funnel, you kind of talked about how that's changing and it's difficult. I guess, is there anything else there that people really need to be thinking about? Going, okay, we have to put this customer first, but they're jumping all over the place in their research process. Is there a couple more things that people should keep in mind there?
Well, when my part of the presentation was the part after the customer gets to you, after they're no longer a prospect, but they're actually the customer. What are the processes that we can do, and how can we streamline those by putting them in place, by giving it some thought and actually, planning ahead? A novel concept, right? Yeah, exactly. So just some very simple things that we can do with our internal communications, and then our out-focusing communications to our customers as well. And gave away some systems like a pipeline report and a planned encounter meeting form, and just some really simple things that help set that expectation all the way through the process, and that makes it so much a much better experience. We're not going to build the perfect home. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It hasn't been done yet. The thing is, it's about that experience, though, and if the customer knows what to expect, then they're going to be pretty cool and pretty chill through the process. So, and that helps us, because nobody likes a customer with their hair on fire.
Right.
That stuff.
Yeah. No, I think you make some awesome points there, and I always like to kind of wrap up things with like one key takeaway. So as you're thinking about, everybody leaving or anybody watching this, do you have like one piece of parting wisdom that you would give to people maybe that were at the show and they're going away and they're kind of swamped with all this knowledge? What should people be doing next week?
Sort through the information that you got. That's what I would say, because it's a little overwhelming. I heard this morning the statistic, we had over 100,000 people here. I mean, it's crazy. The sessions, don't just go back and start your day-to-day grind and put that stuff on a shelf and say, I'm going to get to it later, I'm going to file it later, because later never happens. Take the time, schedule it now, block it out, so that you can take that knowledge and say, these are my 3 ahas. These are the things I'm going to do now. And then these are my midterm ahas that I can implement after I get those. Have a plan again, and use that knowledge. Don't just take it back and get sucked into your day-to-day vortex and nothing changes.
Yeah. That's awesome parting advice from Kimberly Mackey of New Home Solutions. And yeah, thanks again for joining me.
Thank you. Hey, can I have a special guest on? Would you mind?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Mr. Chuck South, who is now our 2nd vice chair of the National Association of Home Builders, who's from my hometown of Tampa, Florida. So, Chuck, welcome.
Hello.
This is Spencer Powell from Builder Funnel.
Okay.
He's a big shot in the podcast world. Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning about podcasts.
Are you? Yeah. So do you listen to any?
Yes.
Right
But Kimberly's going to be my chairperson for sales and marketing in a few years at NEHB.
I'm
She's
excited about it.
the kind of person you need to talk to.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've got her right here. So,
Good deal.
yeah.
Thank
Good to meet
Well,
you. Yeah.
well, thanks for letting me drag you up on camera.
I hope I didn't break the camera.
No.
Good, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Spencer. I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.